My name is Riley Adams, and I'm 32 years old. I work in digital marketing, helping small businesses with ads. It's not a fancy job, but it paid my bills, until I realized I was also paying for everyone else. My family never really supported me. Whenever there was a problem, I was the one who fixed it. My step-siblings lived without worries while I paid for everything: the bills, the house, my stepsister's college, even my stepfather's failing business. And I never told anyone. I didn't expect a thank you, but I also didn't expect them to treat me like I didn't matter. My stepfather, Tom, was the worst. He mocked my job every chance he got. Digital marketing? What even is that? He'd sneer. You should have done something real, like your brother. No matter what I did, it was never enough. I kept quiet, convincing myself I was helping because they were family, but deep down, I was drowning. My mom didn't help either. When I told her how exhausted I was, she just brushed me off. Don't make a scene, Riley. This is what family does. But the worst part? She never defended me. She let them treat me like nothing. One night, after another one of Tom's insults, something inside me snapped. My stepsister, Emily, smirked. My brother ignored me. My mom stayed silent. That was it. I'm done, I said. I'm not paying for anything anymore. You're on your own. The room went quiet. Tom's face turned red. You think you can just stop? This is your responsibility. No, it's not, I shot back. I've given everything, and none of you cared. I'm leaving. Mom finally spoke. Where will you go? You have no one else. I'll figure it out. And with that, I grabbed my bag and walked out. It was hard. I wasn't just leaving my family, I was leaving behind the person who had sacrificed everything for them. The first night alone was strange, quiet, lonely, but also freeing. Then something changed. I realized I couldn't just walk away. They had taken advantage of me, mocked me, and now, they needed to see the truth. I gathered proof, bank statements, bills, conversations where they had laughed at me. I put it all in an email and sent it to everyone: family, friends, business partners. It didn't take long. My phone rang. Riley, Mom's voice was panicked. What have you done? You ruined everything. I stood firm. No, Mom, I just showed everyone the truth. You used me and never cared. Now, deal with the consequences. She went silent. I could hear my mom breathing, but she didn't say anything. I did everything for you, Mom, I said, my voice shaking. And you never even said thank you. You just let Tom make fun of me while the rest of them used me. Don't bring up Tom, she snapped. You think this is just about money? You think I wanted this for you? I cut her off. You wanted me to stay quiet, to keep paying and pretend everything was fine. But I'm done. I'm not your punching bag, and I'm not your bank anymore. I hung up, let her deal with the mess I left behind. The fallout from my email happened fast. Within hours, Tom's business partners started calling, questioning the debts. Emily's university contacted her about unpaid tuition. Kyle's credit card got frozen. Even the neighbors, who had always thought I was the perfect, quiet daughter, learned the truth. But what really hit my family the hardest wasn't the money, it was the public humiliation. Tom's colleagues now knew about his failures. Emily, the golden child, was exposed as nothing more than a spoiled brat who never worked a day in her life. For the first time, I felt free. Years of silence and sacrifice were finally breaking apart. But this wasn't over yet. They needed to learn more than just a financial lesson. They needed to feel what I had felt. I called an old colleague, someone who knew about legal matters, and asked for advice. If I wanted to make sure they never forgot what they did to me, what could I do? That's easy, they said. You could sue them. If they knowingly used your money without compensating you, you might have legal grounds. It would be messy, but they'd never try this again. The idea was tempting, dragging Tom and the others into court, exposing their greed in front of a judge. It felt like justice. But this wasn't just about money, it was about proving that I wasn't someone they could walk all over anymore. For weeks, I gathered more proof, preparing for whatever came next. I had exposed them, but I wasn't done. They were going to regret underestimating me. The days after my email were chaotic. My phone buzzed constantly with angry messages and desperate calls. But nothing compared to the day Tom called me. His voice was full of rage. Riley, you ruined everything. You destroyed my business, my reputation. What am I supposed to do now? I felt a small sense of satisfaction, but I stayed calm. You did this to yourself, Tom. I covered for your mistakes for years. I'm not your piggy bank anymore, stay out of my life. His voice cracked with anger. You'll regret this, I'll make sure of it. I hung up, my hands shaking. I knew he was dangerous when he had nothing left to lose. And now, he had nothing. The fallout kept growing. Tom's business collapsed without his partners. Emily became a joke at her university, losing friends as people gossiped about her family's downfall. Kyle, with his credit frozen and no way to pay his debts, was stuck. I could have helped him. But for the first time, I chose not to. I finally realized how much I'd been enabling my family. I'd fixed their problems without ever being appreciated. Now, as everything fell apart, the family dynamic shifted. My mom, who always sided with Tom, was seeing the cracks in her perfect world, but it was too late. She had ignored me for years, and now she had to face the consequences of her indifference. A small part of me still hoped for reconciliation. I wanted them to apologize, to admit they were wrong, but deep down, I knew that would never happen. They didn't know how to take responsibility for their actions. Then one day, while I was having a rare peaceful moment, my phone rang. It was my mom. I almost didn't pick up, but something made me answer. Riley, she said, her voice shaky, we need to talk, please, just listen. I let her continue. Even though I didn't feel the sympathy I once might have, she admitted that everything had fallen apart, that she never realized how much I'd been holding things together. She apologized and asked me to come home, but it felt hollow. She had waited too long to say those words. I told her it was too late. You made your choice when you stayed silent and let Tom and the kids treat me like I was nothing. I hung up. It didn't bring me relief, but I had finally said what needed to be said. In the days that followed, the consequences of my family's downfall became more visible. Tom filed for bankruptcy, his business failing. Emily had dropped out of school, and Kyle's house was foreclosed. It wasn't just their finances that crumbled, it was their sense of entitlement. They were now facing a world where their privileges had vanished, and they only had themselves to blame. For me, it was freeing. I wasn't the one who had to fix everything anymore. I wasn't their savior, I was my own, and I wasn't going back. The dust had settled, but the weight of everything still lingered. I knew that the only way for them to change was for them to face the consequences of their actions. One day, I received a message from my old friend Kelly. She had heard about my family's troubles and reached out to check on me. I appreciated her support, and after talking, she told me I deserved to focus on my own happiness. A few days later, Emily called. She was different, humble, exhausted, and for the first time, taking responsibility. She apologized, but I wasn't sure how much I believed her. Still, I told her I wouldn't fix her problems, but I would help if she truly wanted to make things right. Weeks passed. Emily started working to fix her mess, and while it wasn't easy, she was learning to take responsibility. I, on the other hand, enrolled in a professional course and reconnected with old friends. I finally felt the weight lift. As for Tom, Kyle, and my mom, they were still dealing with their mistakes, but I had made my peace with it. The years of sacrifice were over, and for the first time in my life, I was free. I wasn't going back to being the person they thought they could walk all over. The family I had once tried so hard to please had shown me who they really were, but in doing so, they showed me who I was meant to be, a woman who could finally stand on her own, and I would never let anyone take that from me again.
Thanks for watching. If you like this video, please like, comment, and subscribe for more great stories. Don't forget to tap the notification bell, so you never miss an update. Share your thoughts in the comments, we love hearing from you. See you next time, and take care.